ups, a genre that was hot in the 90s but kind of died out, had some great titles, some classics. However, with every genre you have some stinkers. Here are 10 of the worst beat 'em ups ever. And I'm talking bad. Number 10, Double Dragon 3. Now wait a minute, because when you mention Double Dragon, you're talking about the granddaddy of beat 'em ups. Without Double Dragon, there would be no final fight. So when you mention Double Dragon, you have to bow down. But unfortunately, for Double Dragon 3, you best turn your head and walk away. Dreadful game. But wait a minute, it introduced new characters. Buying power-ups in the shop, great. But what good is all that if the gameplay was garbage? For simply one reason, the hit detection. If you have a beat 'em up and the hit detection is off, then that's game over. That's the whole purpose of the game. Complete failure. You got these jobbers, fodder, on the first stage going through attacks and owning you. They have priority over you, plus your attacks are going through them. Dreadful. Probably more frustrating, if anything. Call a spade a spade. The terrible AI, dreadful controls, and non-existent hit detection crippled Double Dragon 3. In other words, Double Dragon 3 was broken.
Human Torch.
Number 9, the Fantastic Four on the PlayStation 1. Now who wouldn't want to use the Fantastic Four in a side-scrolling beat 'em up? Cool, right? A hit, right? Wrong. Tedious and boring, insipid garbage. Bland stages, nothing to draw you in. I believe IGN gave this game 1 out of freaking 10. But for me, I don't agree. I'll give it a 3. For one, they gave you something to do during the dreadful loading times, and 2, each of the characters had a decent amount of specials. But once you have done them, there is absolutely nothing keeping you playing this game. Number 8, Batman Forever. On whichever console, doesn't matter. Either way, dreadful. 3 words. Go to sleep. Boring and awful game. Very dull and bland stages. Terrible controls. This shit is on par with Sub-Zero mythologies. Simple. Number 7, The Perfect Weapon, PS1. And holy crap. But first of all, give the devil his due. Good attempt at a decent story for a beat 'em up. Decent, however, dreadfully executed. I think this was voted as one of the worst PlayStation 1 games ever. As I said, music weren't too bad. Decent idea, but the controls, holy crap. Poor. Plus there was lag. The enemies kept on regenerating, camera angles all over the place. Ruined the entire experience, making The Perfect Weapon one of the most frustrating and god-awful PS1 games ever. Could have been a hidden gem. Instead, it's a hidden stinker. Number 6, The Tick. You know this guy, a C-rate hero. I guess fans of The Tick were happy to have a game and couldn't wait for it, right? Wrong. Dreadful game. Boring, bland, repetitive, barely any moves. This was awful. The game lacked any real special moves, no variety, endless enemies kept respawning, straight up boring. You'd be put to sleep after 2 minutes. Very bad game. Number 5, The Last Action Hero. On a variety of consoles. Either way, it doesn't matter. Straight up garbage. First, you have to live through that horrendous music, which you'll be hearing for quite some time, and come to find that you have a variety of moves that include, wait for it, a punch and a kick. 2 freaking moves to survive the entire game. Wow. Just straight up tedious and featureless. Playing this game is equivalent to sitting in a 5-hour lecture watching beige paint dry. Awful. Number 4, Heavy Nova on the SEGA Genesis. And some of you are saying to yourself, I've never even heard of this game. Well done to you. Saved yourself the torment. Configurations, that's a laugh considering you practically have no control over this idiot. What on earth was this? Insipid game, garbage. What can be said? You want to know the best thing about this game? 2 things. The intro and the ability to turn it off. Number 3. Now we're really starting to dig through the bottom of the barrel here. BEBE'S kids. What more needs to be said? Come on, do I need to state the obvious? Poor graphics, repetitive gameplay, barely any moves, straight up garbage. And they fight like they're fighting underwater. What, they fighting under the freaking ocean? Too slow. Crap game. Average scores for this game were 1 and 2 out of 10. Okay? No coming back from that. Dreadful game. Number 2. Guardians of the Hood. Now I just recently found out about this game, never heard of it. And I can tell you this, good God almighty. This game is absolute trash. One of the worst beat-em-ups ever, if not the worst game ever. It's tight. Pit Fight is now a side-scrolling beat-em-up. Good, right? Unfortunately, it's even worse. You have Michael Jackson as the bad guy. Terrible controls, bad graphics, horrendous gameplay. Tried playing through it, could barely stomach going past the first level. Hurtful to the ears, dreadful to the eyes, an abomination to beat 'em ups. Very bad game. Number 1. Now you're scratching your head thinking, is there something possibly worse than BEBE'S Kids and Guardians of the Hood? And to answer your question, yes, and it comes at the hands of a decent film and a decent actor. The worst beat 'em up ever is The Crow City of the Angels. Holy crap. This is on the Sega Saturn and on the PlayStation and PC. And I can tell you this right now, this is one of the worst, if not the worst game on the Saturn, and if not the worst game on the PS1. Absolutely horrendous. Of course, we know The Crow was a badass film starring Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son. Arguably his best film outside Rapid Fire. Of course, Sting had this gimmick in WCW, ran with it, made it awesome. The Crow is an awesome character. And this game is and was a straight up smack in the face of the legacy of the Crow and the character, and disrespectful to the beat 'em up genre. Dreadful game. Is this even a game? Because to me it seemed like a freaking demo. There was no way in hell this was an actual finished game. Couldn't be, and it would make sense if it was a demo. Demo or not, this is one of the worst games ever created. Air bleeding music. Terrible freaking controls. Zero hit detection. Half the time this guy was doing his own thing. Ridiculous camera angles, crappy enemies, shit graphics. The Crow City of Angels is the worst beat 'em up ever. Point blank, period.